So the scaremongering's already begun. EV owners are going to have to pay £5,000 a year extra starting next year to drive them, so wiping out the entire value once it's a used car. Yeah, the old petrol heads, they love their scare stories. Not true, but there are changes on the way that you should be aware of. Welcome to Dave Takes It On. Now, I've already launched a video looking at the changes in regard to the congestion charge. There'll be a link to that down below. But what about road tax? Well, currently that's free, but for how long? And will it actually make any difference to you and me? So let's open with a few facts. We need to see what road tax is and where it's going and what the future might be. So first, none of this is targeted at EVs. This applies to ICE cars as well, because many of us know that many ICE cars already pay no tax, same as us. These are the ultra low emission ones. But after the 1st of April 2025, every car on the road will pay tax of some sort or other. So after 2025, they'll all pay tax at one level. Full stop, no exceptions. That's the first major change. We will pay for our tax. Now, it's important to realise that road tax is not used to pay for the roads. It's just a general taxation to be spent on anything that government likes. It could actually be scrapped tomorrow if they just increase other taxes. It's just general kitty. I have loved the free road tax, but I always expected it to end. Didn't think it would last forever, and soon it will for everyone. So what's happening from the 1st of April 2025? Drivers of electric and low emission cars, vans and motorcycles will need to pay vehicle tax in the same way as drivers of internal combustion engine vehicles do. This change will apply to both new and existing vehicles and will ensure all drivers begin to pay a fairer contribution. So it's not aimed at us, it's just any car at the moment that doesn't pay tax will in the future. Simple as that. In EVs, you'll need to pay the lowest first year rate of vehicle tax, which applies to vehicles with CO2 emissions between 1 and 50 grams per kilometre. From the second tax payment onwards, these vehicles will pay the standard rate. The standard rate is £190 for 2024 and likely to be for 2025, but it is subject to change, so it could well be more. Finally, another big change for new electric vehicles with a list price exceeding £40,000, you will now need to pay the expensive car supplement from the second tax payment onwards. This applies to vehicles registered on or after the 1st of April 2025. See, since April 2017, cars with a list price exceeding £40,000 have had to pay an additional supplement as well as paying the standard rate of road tax, which means that those who can afford the more expensive cars pay more than the standard rate imposed on other drivers. So let's just unpack all that and see who's affected. Well, first, the easiest one is older EVs registered before 2017. This is me. After 2001, before 2017, will be required to pay the lowest possible band. That's currently £20 a year. That's it, full stop. £20 or always the lowest band, whatever that does go up to over a period of time. So for me, most Model S drivers, Model X owners, Nissan Leaf and Zoe owners, and some of the BMW i3 owners, we can carry on enjoying really low cost road tax for the foreseeable future. No one else is paying anything like £20 a year. For new cars registered after the 1st of April 2025, you'll pay the lowest rate for the first year, then the standard rate thereafter. So you get discounted the first year down to, at the moment, £20. Then at the end of the first year, it'll go to £190 a year. So first year discount, then the standard rate. This rate is also likely to change during or after 2025. So 190 at the moment, we don't know what it's going to be. So for all the others who've already bought or leased their EVs since 2017, they will pay £190 per year in line with everybody else on their next renewal. So EV drivers at the moment will go from free up to £190 a year. Not a pleasant jump, but again, this is not EV based. All those who bought ultra low emission vehicles like things like that, the Qashqai and the VW Golf, many of us, they too have been enjoying paying nothing, and now they're going to have to begin paying 190 in line with everyone else after the 1st of April 2025. They see the wording here is key. In addition, any new vehicles registered on or after the 1st of April 2025 with a list price of over £40,000 will attract an additional expensive car supplement from the second year onwards. So anyone who's got an EV at the moment, which is exempt from tax, has never paid road tax, nor have they ever paid an expensive car supplement on top of it. The ICE car drivers have. They've been paying this for years. You buy a car over £40,000, you would have paid the standard rate of tax and the supplement on top of it. But the wording here is brilliant for EVs because it means if you've already bought and you own an expensive EV, £200,000 if you can find one, by the 31st of March 2025, it will not be subject to that supplement ever. That's it. So if you're rich and you've already got an expensive EV by 31st of March 2025, you've just got away with it. I expect to see a huge rush to people buying expensive cars, getting them registered for the rest of this year in the first quarter of 2025. Once you've got it, it's exempt from that for forever. Well, unfortunately, our honeymoon's over. I enjoyed it while it lasted. This is the 5th year of no tax. But it is no more. Ceased to be. Now, is this going to force me to sell my EV? Don't be a silly Billy. For me, I only pay £20 a year, so I'm going to barely notice it. McDonald's meal. Well, large with extra fries. Anyway, for everyone else, whatever they do, if they change the car, they will still have to pay £190. Whatever you have, whatever you buy, you'll pay £190. Simple as that. So there are no free road tax vehicles after the 1st of April 2025, none at all. No, nobody will sell up to avoid it because nobody can avoid it. If you sell your car and buy another one, you'll pay £190, which is what your other one would have become on the 1st of April 2025. Face it, if you own a car, you're going to pay road tax. But unfortunately, there are always those who think they can get away with it. I've seen loads of comments, had comments sent to me about taxing your EV early before the change comes into force and taxing it for a full year to get the free rate even after the rise starts. If you can tax it on the 31st of March, you're going to get a free year. Well, sorry, I've looked into it. You're wrong. I cannot see how it could work. If you do actually know how it works, please enlighten me. Gov.uk states very simply you can only tax your vehicle in advance a maximum of 2 months. That's it. And if you want to do that, you have to submit an application for permission and the reason why you have to tax it in advance. And I'm not sure that wanting to con them out a 2 or 12 months road tax fee would qualify as a justifiable excuse. But the big problem with this scheme is you can't just pick an arbitrary date and apply for 12 months road tax early, whenever you choose. You might remember, us EV owners, we get reminders through the post when it's due. And if you tax your car online, you don't have to pay anything, but you do need that reference number that they include on that reminder. So if you want to tax it early to try and jump the queue and get a year free road tax, can you tell me where you get that number from so that you can apply? Of course you can't. Now, besides, if you somehow manage to try it, you're going to find that during the overlap, that's between the 31st of March and the actual date your tax is due, could be July or September, your car is actually already taxed. Even though it was free, you paid nothing, it is actually taxed. So I can't see them allowing, even if you got a number, them to tax your car again when it is already taxed. Sorry, unless someone knows something I don't, I think this is all a load of hype. It's not going to happen. I'm absolutely convinced that if your road tax is due in February 2025, next February, and you apply to tax it for a year, the correct rates will actually be applied for the whole year. Namely, you'll get February and March free, but the next 10 months will be at the new rate of £190 a year pro rata. So you'll end up paying not £190, but maybe £130, £140. I haven't worked the exact figure out. The following year, the full year will be at £190 or whatever it's gone up to. Unless anyone out there knows different. Nice thought, no cigar. But that brings me on to the next issue, which is pay per mile. See, the road tax is a broad brush approach. You pay the same road tax if you do 10 miles a year as a company rep on the road doing 50,000 miles a year. And in actual fact, that's not unreasonable in some ways. You see, road tax is not for roads, like I already said. It is just a general taxation. Just like you pay the same rate of tax on your taxable income, no matter whether you earn a mere £1 above the minimum threshold or a huge amount, say just £1 under the maximum limit for that band, you'll pay exactly the same tax. Doesn't matter what you earn. Not the same tax, the same tax rate. Well, there is talk, and it's just that. I don't see any of this happening. You see, the current changes give an absolute massive boost to the Treasury tax receipts. There's over 1 million EV drivers who are going to go from paying nothing to paying £190 a year. I think they're going to end up, Labour, new government, they're going to be really happy just sitting back and seeing how it goes, rake it all in. There's always the danger that if you do a pay per mile, people will stop driving and your revenue will reduce even further. Well, 2025 is a big change. It's bigger for some than others. So I'm really convinced they're just going to sit back and see how it goes. But it's not set in stone. At some point, it will change again. Probably not for our benefit, ever. The only way at the moment to not beat the road tax but minimise your road tax is to buy an older EV that was registered before 2017. You'll only ever pay £20 a year. But you've got to ask, how much does it cost to buy that EV? See, if you need a loan, your interest to buy that one might be more than the road tax on the existing EV. So I suspect most people just suck it up and moan about it. I don't know. What do you think? Is this a fair move? Is this penalising people who are trying to do the right bit for the environment? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. I'm Dave, and thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please click the like button. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. We're heading towards 10,000 subscribers, so all the help we can get, much appreciated. Thanks very much to all the Patreon members. I'm Dave.